Our question today is, can I buy subject to on a property listed with an agent? Do I have to wait for it to expire? And with regard to can you buy subject to listed with an agent? Sure, you can. If that agent is agreeable to presenting an offer that's outside of the normal lines that people color in when they're when they're looking to buy a house, absolutely you can. Is that agent hard to find? You bet. Agents are bound by their fiduciary responsibilities to their seller to present all offers, but you will run into agents who will just refuse to even present that offer. Can they do that? Well, technically, they're not supposed to be able to. Can you press it? Of course you can. Can you force them to present it? Of course you can. Do you think it will be presented in its most favorable light if you have to go that route? You can bet it won't be. So can you do it? Of course you can. Should you? Well, I think there are probably better ways to use your time. So no, you don't have to wait for it to expire. I'll tell you, one of the most productive uh, lead generation sources that I've ever used as far as percentages, responses, and close ratios, low KPI, has been targeting what I call soon to expire listings. When I got started as an investor, gosh, over 20 years ago, everybody talked about expired listings as one of their lead generation sources. And, expired listings are great. We've got students that buy them that way all the time. We bought expired listings. But, I started thinking about it and I said, well, gee, we're missing, a lot of times you contact expired listings and they've already done something. They've either resorted to renting the property out or they just decide not to move if that's an option for them and just we just decided to keep it. And I thought, what about all these people that they list a house because that's really all they know? They think if you've got a house to sell, you list it with an agent, and that's what you do. What about people that are really in a bind and have gone this route and they're 90, 120 days in, the house still hasn't sold, and they're really anxious or they're in a fix because they've got to move, they can't afford 2 house payments, they're in foreclosure, their agent doesn't even know about it, they're getting a divorce, neither one can make the payment on the house alone. What about those people? Maybe we should be reaching out to them. So what I started doing, I don't reach out directly. I send a simple postcard that just says something along the lines of, hey, I noticed that your house has been listed for a while without a sale. If you need to sell quickly and the listing expires, give us a call. I let them know up front that I'm aware their house is listed. I let them know up front that it shouldn't be listed when they talk to me. If they call me anyway, one of my first questions is, of course, anybody that calls, how did you find us? Well, you mailed me this postcard. My house has been listed. Well, is it still listed now? Because if it is, you've got to do one of two things. Understand that if I make you an offer and you accept it, you are bound by your contract with your agent to pay them a commission. So do you want to wait until your listing expires, or do you want to cancel your listing? Okay. And we'll give them that option. Now, if they really need to sell, if they're really in a bind, a lot of times they're not happy with their agent who promised them the house would sell quickly and it hasn't. Then they'll either cancel their listing, and most agents don't care. If someone calls them up and says, hey, I want to cancel my listing, they just do it and let it go. Some people will say, well, let's just wait and see what happens. And that's all right. We'll put them in follow-up and check back with them when their listing should expire. But those people will call you up. You can work a deal out with them and buy the house. If there's enough room, pay the commission. And remember, just because you're using money on a deal doesn't mean it's your own money. Factor it in. Our exit for everything is a contract for deed. So I know if I'm buying a house worth $250,000, I can expect somewhere in the neighborhood of $20,000 to $25,000 from my buyer. If the house is in great condition, maybe it doesn't have a ton of equity, I know I'm not going to have to make any repairs. I don't have a ton of closing costs, and I have to pay the agent on that thing, $20,000 or $15,000, whatever the number is, to get it done. Can I still make money on the front end? You bet. Now, is it worth it to me to do that? Sometimes, not very often. We generally don't pay those commissions. We've had sellers before write a check to pay the commission. Sometimes the agent will agree to take a reduced commission. You can do so many different things. So just because a property is listed doesn't even mean you have to make an offer the conventional way. My best advice to you is to, in the markets that you're in, whether it's just local, whether it's across the country, down the road, doesn't matter. In each of those markets, find an agent that understands creative offers, that understands what you're trying to do, and that is willing to present offers that are creative. Okay. And then you can contact them and say, listen, I see this house that's for sale in Peoria and I want to buy it. It is listed, but I want you to make a creative offer and let's see what happens. And I would try to go about it that way. If the agent is not cooperative that has it listed, or they just won't even present it or whatever, then I'd mail that postcard to the homeowner and say, listen, we tried to make an offer through your agent. They wouldn't present it. We're interested in buying your house. Give us a call if you're open to it. I'd love to tell you how the offer works. And, sometimes, people will be very unhappy with their agent that they didn't present that offer. So I would give that a shot. Can you make a subject to offer on a property listed? Sure you can. And you don't have to wait for it to expire. But that's how we do it.